6 best foods for arthritis. Reduce inflammation and joint pain fast. Servings, timing, plus 6 triggers to avoid. Right now, arthritis is stealing mobility from over 54 million Americans and 350 million people worldwide. That's 1 in 4 adults. And it's not just creaky knees or stiff fingers. Chronic joint inflammation is one of the leading causes of disability, costing billions in lost productivity and quality of life every single year. And here's the part that should alarm you. Inflammation doesn't just damage your joints. It accelerates aging, increases your risk of heart disease, and keeps your immune system stuck in overdrive, like a fire alarm that never shuts off. The good news? Food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. The meals you eat every day can either douse the flames of inflammation or pour gasoline on the fire. In fact, studies show the right foods can dramatically reduce arthritis pain and swelling, and in some cases even help people cut back on pain medications entirely. Welcome back to Holistic Habits, where instead of gimmicks and quick fixes, we break down the science-backed strategies that actually work. Today, we're diving deep into the 6 best foods that fight arthritis and joint pain, and the 6 worst that make it worse. Every claim is backed by research, but explained in plain English so you can apply it right away. And stick with us until the end, because not only will you discover the surprising foods that can heal your joints, you'll also learn the hidden healthy foods that secretly fuel inflammation. And they might already be sitting in your kitchen. Let's dive in. 1. Fatty fish, omega-3s. Omega-3s in salmon, sardines, and mackerel are among the strongest natural anti-inflammatories known. They work much like NSAID drugs, blocking enzymes that drive pain and cartilage damage, but without the risky side effects. A meta-analysis found that patients taking about 2.7 grams of fish oil daily cut their need for pain meds, and some stopped NSAIDs entirely. Another trial showed rheumatoid arthritis patients reported less morning stiffness and fewer swollen joints after just a few months on high-dose fish oil. People with higher omega-3 levels also consistently show lower CRP and interleukin-6, 2 of the body's most powerful inflammation markers. The issue? Most Americans eat 10 to 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3, a ratio that locks the body in chronic inflammation. Correcting that balance is simple but powerful. Aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish weekly, or use a high-quality fish oil supplement with around 1,000 milligrams of EPA/DHA daily. For vegans and vegetarians, algae-based omega-3 provides the same benefits without fish. Think of every serving of fatty fish as turning down the alarm bell in your joints, giving them room to recover. And next, a surprising sweet food that studies show can ease stiffness, lower pain, and even cut gout attacks nearly in half. 2. Berries and tart cherries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, and tart cherries aren't just sweet snacks. They're inflammation-fighting weapons. Their power comes from anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep hues. These compounds lower C-reactive protein, CRP, a key marker of arthritis inflammation, while antioxidants mop up free radicals that damage cartilage. Tart cherries in particular have impressed researchers. In one trial, patients with osteoarthritis who drank tart cherry juice daily for 6 weeks had significantly lower CRP and less stiffness. Another study found gout patients who ate cherries had a 35% lower risk of flare-ups. Diets rich in berries have also been tied to reduced oxidative stress, better mobility, and slower joint degeneration. Aim for 1 to 2 cups of berries daily, or 8 to 12 ounces of unsweetened tart cherry juice. Tart cherry capsules or concentrates deliver similar benefits. They also contain melatonin, which may improve sleep quality. And better sleep itself reduces pain sensitivity. Every handful of berries is like sending antioxidants to your joints, scrubbing away the microscopic rust of inflammation. And next, we'll uncover a family of vegetables with a secret compound so powerful, it blocks enzymes that break down cartilage. 3. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. These humble greens hide a secret: sulforaphane. This compound blocks inflammatory enzymes at the genetic level and shuts down signaling pathways that fuel arthritis. Think of it as flipping the off switch on the machinery that chews up cartilage. Animal studies from the University of East Anglia found sulforaphane not only reduced inflammation, but slowed cartilage breakdown in mice with arthritis. Human studies echo this. People who ate the most cruciferous vegetables consistently had lower CRP and IL-6, two of the body's most destructive inflammatory markers. And it's not just sulforaphane. Cruciferous veggies are rich in vitamin K, vitamin C, and antioxidants that neutralize oxidative stress, the rusting process that stiffens joints. One large study found women with the highest intake of broccoli, cabbage, and kale had a much lower risk of developing arthritis compared to those who ate the least. The takeaway? Aim for at least a cup a day. Raw, lightly steamed, or sautéed. Chop and let them sit for 10 minutes before cooking to maximize sulforaphane release. Every forkful is like applying a protective coating to your joints, shielding them from inflammatory damage. Up next, a food so common you probably use it every day. And studies show it can cut arthritis pain scores significantly. 4. Garlic and onions. These kitchen staples do more than flavor your food. They actively protect your joints. Garlic is rich in sulfur compounds like diallyl disulfide, which block cartilage-damaging enzymes. Onions add quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that lowers inflammatory markers. The science is clear. In a 12-week randomized trial, women with osteoarthritis who took garlic supplements saw pain scores drop by nearly 25% compared to placebo. Other studies found people who regularly ate garlic and onions had a much lower risk of hip arthritis. Garlic also works at the genetic level, reducing cytokines like IL-6 and CRP while boosting protective immune pathways. The result? Less swelling, stiffness, and flare-ups. Benefits seen both with supplements and diets rich in allium vegetables. Tip: crush or chop garlic and let it rest 10 minutes before cooking to activate compounds. Aim for a clove a day or 500 to 1,000 milligrams garlic supplements. Onions, raw, sautéed, or roasted, add protection when eaten often. In short, garlic and onions are inexpensive, everyday anti-inflammatory weapons hiding in plain sight. Next up, a golden spice so powerful it has matched ibuprofen in clinical trials, without the side effects. 5. Turmeric, curcumin. Few foods are as well studied for arthritis as turmeric, the golden spice in curries. Its active compound, curcumin, directly targets inflammatory pathways, blocking cytokines like TNF-alpha and interleukins, the same chemicals drugs like Humira suppress. The difference? Turmeric calms them naturally without the side effects. Clinical studies are striking. In one trial, curcumin, 1,000 milligrams daily, was as effective as ibuprofen for knee osteoarthritis pain, with fewer stomach issues. Another trial in rheumatoid arthritis showed curcumin reduced joint swelling and tenderness more than a standard drug, while blood tests confirmed lower CRP and ESR levels. The catch? Curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own, but paired with black pepper, piperine, absorption increases by up to 2,000%. Add a fat like olive oil, and its power multiplies. That's why traditional recipes, golden milk, curries, teas, always mix turmeric with pepper and fat. Most studies use 500 to 1,000 milligrams curcumin daily in capsule form. Cooking with turmeric helps too, though you'd need several teaspoons a day to match supplement levels. Bottom line, turmeric is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories, but it's not the only ingredient that rivals ibuprofen. Next up, a kitchen oil so powerful, scientists compare it directly to NSAIDs. 6. Extra virgin olive oil, EVOO. For arthritis relief, few staples rival extra virgin olive oil. It's loaded with polyphenols and oleocanthal, a compound that mimics ibuprofen by blocking COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes. That peppery burn in quality olive oil? That's oleocanthal fighting inflammation. The data is clear. Populations eating a Mediterranean diet, rich in olive oil, show far less arthritis disability. In a clinical trial, rheumatoid arthritis patients who added EVO saw pain and stiffness drop within 12 weeks, many cutting NSAID use. Another study found EVO plus omega-3s worked even better together, lowering CRP and interleukin-6 more than either alone. The sweet spot? About 2 to 3 tablespoons daily. Replace butter, drizzle on veggies, or use it as salad dressing. Each spoonful isn't just fuel, it's therapy for your joints. Think of EVOO as liquid ibuprofen, without the side effects. But here's the harsh truth. All that progress can be undone if you keep eating the wrong foods. Some items in your kitchen act like lighter fluid, silently fueling joint damage day after day. This is where most people go wrong. They add anti-inflammatory foods but never cut the offenders. Next, we'll expose the 6 worst culprits researchers consistently link to more inflammation, higher CRP, and faster joint destruction. 1. Added sugars and sweetened beverages. Sugar isn't just bad for your waistline. It's one of the strongest inflammation triggers you can consume. A soda, pastry, or candy bar spikes blood glucose and sets off a surge of inflammatory cytokines. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows processed sugars literally flip the switch on these immune messengers. For arthritis sufferers, that means more swelling, stiffness, and pain. Sweetened drinks are especially harmful. One large study found women who drank soda daily had a much higher risk of rheumatoid arthritis. In gout, sugary beverages are even worse, spiking uric acid and triggering flares. Even artificial sweeteners aren't always safe. Aspartame can fool the immune system into seeing it as a foreign invader, fueling inflammation in sensitive people. Here's the kicker. A single can of soda packs 8 to 10 teaspoons of sugar, nearly your entire daily limit in one hit. And every extra pound of body weight adds about 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. The takeaway? Added sugar is fuel for arthritis. Cutting it can quickly lower CRP, ease pain, and reduce flare frequency. But if sugar is the spark, what comes next is like a steady drip of gasoline. 2. Refined carbohydrates. White bread, pasta, pastries. If sugar is the spark, refined carbs are the logs that keep inflammation burning. White bread, pasta, pastries, and crackers are stripped of fiber and digested almost as fast as pure sugar. The result? Blood sugar spikes that trigger flare-ups in your joints. These starches also form AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Think of AGEs as molecular shrapnel. They bind to cartilage and tissues, forcing your immune system into attack mode. People with arthritis already show elevated AGEs, and refined carbs make it worse. Scientific American warned that processed carbs may be the biggest driver of modern inflammation and obesity. In one trial, swapping refined grains for whole grain alternatives for just 8 weeks cut CRP, a key marker of inflammation. And it's not just inflammation. These foods drive weight gain. Every extra pound adds 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. 20 extra pounds is like carrying a 75-pound backpack daily. Here's the kicker. Many healthy-looking foods are culprits too. Breakfast cereals, bagels, even granola bars are loaded with refined flour that spikes blood sugar like candy. Bottom line? Refined carbs look harmless, but inside the body they accelerate inflammation and grind down joints. And if you think carbs are the only hidden danger in processed foods, just wait until you see what's next. 3. Processed and fried foods, a fast track to inflammation. Processed and fried foods are a nightmare for your joints. Fast food, packaged snacks, and fried takeout are packed with refined flour, sugar, cheap oils, and salt. A toxic combo that drives chronic inflammation. High heat frying creates AGEs, advanced glycation end products, compounds that lodge in joints and accelerate pain. They also deliver trans fats and an overload of omega-6 oils, tipping your body into a pro-inflammatory state. A University of Bonn study showed that a Western fast food diet activated the immune system like a bacterial infection. Even after the diet stopped, the immune system stayed hyperreactive. Proof junk food can reprogram your body for inflammation. The numbers are alarming. People who regularly eat fried or ultra-processed foods show much higher CRP levels, a key marker of inflammation, and report worse arthritis pain. Every meal of fries or donuts isn't just empty calories. It's fuel on the fire in your joints. And hidden in many of these products is one fat so damaging it deserves its own category. 4. Trans fats, the silent inflammation trigger. If there's one ingredient your joints should never meet, it's trans fats. These artificial fats, found in margarine, shortening, and packaged baked goods, are created by hydrogenating vegetable oils. Even tiny amounts ignite systemic inflammation, raising CRP and IL-6, key arthritis markers. Harvard research found women who ate the most trans fats had 78% higher CRP than those who ate the least. Another study showed they boost TNF-alpha, a destructive signal that erodes cartilage. They're so harmful the FDA banned them, yet loopholes still allow up to 0.5 grams per serving in products labeled 0 grams trans fat. A few servings and your joints pay the price. The impact is immediate and lasting. High trans fat meals spike inflammation within hours, and over time, they hardwire it into your cells, worsening both rheumatoid and osteoarthritis. Here's the kicker. Trans fats often travel with other offenders: fried foods, pastries, and snacks combining sugar, refined carbs, and salt. Every donut or margarine-smeared toast is not just one hit, but a triple strike against your joints. The smarter move? Swap margarine and shortening for extra virgin olive or avocado oil, both proven to lower inflammation. Even butter is less harmful. And if trans fats are the silent trigger in processed food, the next category is even more deceptive, because many still eat it daily, believing it's harmless. 5. Red and processed meats, a hidden joint saboteur. Steak dinners and bacon breakfasts may feel harmless, but research shows red and processed meats worsen arthritis by fueling inflammation. Processed cuts like bacon and deli meats add nitrates and AGEs, compounds tied to joint damage. A UK study found heavy red meat eaters had nearly double the risk of inflammatory arthritis versus low consumers. Another trial showed patients who cut meat on a vegetarian diet saw sharp drops in pain and CRP. For gout, the risk is direct. Purines in red meat raise uric acid and trigger flares. High-heat cooking, grilling, frying, charring, adds oxidative stress that breaks down cartilage faster. That steak may satisfy now, but each bite adds to the inflammatory burden, stiffening your joints. Do you need to quit meat entirely? Not necessarily. Lean cuts, cooked gently, can fit a plan. But making red or processed meat a staple is like inviting pain. Smarter swaps include fish, poultry, or plant proteins that cool inflammation. If meat is the quiet saboteur, the next culprit is even sneakier. It hides in celebrations and inflames your joints with every sip. 6. Excess alcohol, a silent aggravator of joint pain. Alcohol isn't just empty calories. It's a hidden driver of arthritis flares. Heavy drinking fuels inflammation, strains the liver, and disrupts immune balance. For gout, it's a proven trigger. One study found just 2 beers in a day doubled flare risk within 24 hours. Beer and liquor are the worst, packed with purines that spike uric acid and form sharp crystals in joints. In rheumatoid arthritis, alcohol worsens systemic inflammation. A 2019 study showed regular drinkers had higher CRP levels and faster joint damage than light or non-drinkers. Alcohol also weakens the gut lining, letting toxins leak into the blood, essentially pouring gasoline on inflammation. Some headlines praise a glass of wine a day, but beyond one small serving, the risks outweigh any antioxidants. It's especially dangerous when paired with arthritis drugs like NSAIDs or methotrexate, compounding liver and stomach damage. So does alcohol need to be banned? Not always, but moderation is crucial. Occasional small servings may not derail progress, yet frequent drinking will keep inflammation smoldering and joints aching. So let's bring it all together. Foods like fatty fish, berries, cruciferous veggies, garlic, turmeric, and olive oil can act like natural medicine for your joints. While sugar, refined carbs, fried foods, red meats, and alcohol pour gasoline on the fire of inflammation. At the end of the day, food isn't just fuel. It's one of the most powerful levers you have to fight arthritis. The right foods can lower inflammation, ease stiffness, and even reduce your dependence on medications. The wrong ones? They quietly chip away at your joints, fueling pain and accelerating damage. If you found this valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs relief. And I want to hear from you. Which of these foods do you rely on most for your joints? And which one do you think is secretly making your arthritis worse? Drop your answer in the comments because your story might help someone else. Remember, every bite you take is a choice. You're either fueling pain or fueling healing. The power really is in your hands.